It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my ladies with me. Hello, White in the building.
Yo. I am not a happy person.
What happened, White? Give us...
Be like him, man.
It's not just.
No.
Just,
You're a happy person. You're just not feeling happy.
I'm not feeling happy. I'm a happy person. I'm not feeling happy. Yeah, I have a lot to be thankful for. But the way, the divisiveness in Nigeria is very touching, because...
Heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. Prior to this time, we have lived, I don't know where you're from. I don't ask where you're from. It's not my business. My business is you as a person. And suddenly, there is this division, and it is very, very, it's very weighty for me. It's very weighty. And I just hope and pray that we can grow past it. And I want to implore all the governors, if it's in your states they were fighting because of ethnicity, go and find out who are the people and prosecute them. That is it. That's how because if they don't, we will not heal. But we need to heal. Yeah. We need to move forward. Nigeria is one. Exactly. I beg.
It's a really painful rhetoric out there, and people are taking advantage of all the politics that happen.
Exactly.
Also, people that should be responsible are tweeting all sorts of things, are saying all sorts of things,
honestly,
causing division, and it is wrong. That's not who we are. Especially, I said it before, that's not the spirit of Lagos State. Lagos State is where we're all here together, happily, and we shouldn't have...
And it's so painful to me. The elections, I was like, kilo day. I don't...
Let me say hello to Nima. How are you doing? I know the fighting happened across the country, and people must nip it in the bud. You're right. Across the country.
It happened across the country, but that's
intimidation
the one that happened here.
And harassment of voters happened, and it's wrong.
Intimidation, thuggery that happened in other states are worse than we can imagine compared to what happened in Lagos. But what happened in Lagos is more tribal, which is what YK is trying to talk about, is more dangerous. So the thuggery ends with the election. Everybody goes and accepts whoever makes it to office. But for tribal ones, it goes into friendships, families, marriages.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to touch on one of that as a hot topic. But anything interesting happening?
I wanted to talk about my Sunday experience at the mental health conference that was organized by... It was the first in the country.
Are you mental?
Well, we accepted that Nigerians are mental. Me, I'm mental.
Everybody
too.
here.
Because if you discuss mental health, now that was the thing. It was to start the conversations about mental health. These were conversations that normally we would not have. So we found out that it was a what do you call the F word? What do you call it when they talk about it? As
swear word?
A swear word. To say to somebody, are you mad? It was wrong.
It's not a question.
Yes, my friend Oyeyemi was the legal consultant for one of the panel, and she was catching fire like this. And we talked about the Lunacy Act compared to the Mental Health Act now, how we've advanced from stigmatizing mental health issues to now, using our laws to provide, empathy, to handle it from a different side of things. We are not there yet, but for West Africa, for African countries, Nigeria is leading when it comes to how mental health issues are discussed. Right. And then there are areas of mental health that are not necessarily on the road. All of that. So we're getting there small.
Yes, we're a show.
Obiajulu, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just living one day at a time. I'm grateful for everything. I'm relishing in the euphoria of some of the comments I've been receiving from my accountability class. So I put them on meditation, like we must do it every morning and every evening, because I wanted to set, the coaching for me has gone beyond just telling you how to set goals and find clarity and all of that. It's now more spiritual for me. And so I wanted people to start living from inside out. And so I've been asking them, how is the experience for you? We have someone who joined the class in the makeup room this morning, and she was sharing her experiences with me. And I'm like, type it and send to me so I can post it, just share with the world some of the benefits of being in that class.
Fantastic.
I love your pendant.
Oh, actually, it cut off.
The whole thing. I love the whole thing.
Thank you.
And the way it matches
jacket is BC?
Your jacket.
Also BC.
Oh.
It was with my shorts. Was you that made it?
I can't remember. You have bought so many things.
It wasn't you. Sorry,
is it this one you collected yesterday?
No.
Okay, it's not yesterday.
I love the way it matches.
Thank you.
Look really nice.
So I got a treadmill.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Be like me.
For workout.
Yeah, I did 40 minutes.
Say you
on
will
the
use
treadmill
it.
this morning.
You
Yeah.
did it?
40
Ah,
minutes
okay.
this
You
morning.
are disciplined.
I'm very
I have a
disciplined. I'm
treadmill
very disciplined just for me
the
to
past
start.
10 years that I've not used it.
That's amazing.
I'm very disciplined.
You know, I would have loved to get a treadmill, but there's no space in my
Time
house.
has gone. You started with your lamentation.
There's no, I must, if I didn't lament,
That is
I would not
all
be at peace.
we can take on this banter. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll go to the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Look like
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Okay, let's start with the nation. APC wins 15 states, PDP 6, NNPP takes Kano. Namani quits PDP. EFCC arrests 4 NCAA officials. Polls inconclusive in Adamawa, Kebbi, Abia, and Enugu. Foreign observers hail INEC. JAM sets new guideline for direct entry registration. Cash crisis banking infrastructure for expansion. Lagos okays 20% salary raise for workers. And payments are backdated. And expect new moon for Ramadan tomorrow, says Sultan. All right, which story are we starting with?
Your headline.
Your headline?
So we know where we are going. And, you know, the way the elections went, just as our guest talked about yesterday, showed the will of the people across board. So the APC, which is the ruling party, lost Kano to the NNPP, and they also lost Plateau to the PDP. But surprisingly, I was shocked when yesterday Benue State's results came out and the APC won Benue. That's what Tom's stronghold was given to the man of God in Benue. And Sokoto also, Tambuwa State was taken over by the APC from some of the results we are seeing. It's sad for me that Abia has not been concluded. Alex Oti was leading and the gap was wide. Till now, I've not seen the result for Abia, but the nation captures that 15 states are with the ruling party and that PDP are in Oyo, Akwa Ibom, Bauchi, Delta, and Rivers and Plateau. And NNPP, of course, has been concluded. Kano, they have Kano now. We have some other states that are still waiting. Okay, just as the nation said, Kebbi, Adamawa, Abia, and Enugu states are still hanging. APC surprisingly won Ebonyi as well yesterday. So I think the areas that we consider stronghold were lost, but there were new areas won for the APC, and the PDP continue to. They lost some of their areas, but you know they also gained in some other areas. I was seriously looking out for Adamawa. And, you know, yesterday, the INEC declared the results inconclusive. But I'm seriously hoping that something changes for the female.
And that democracy is not truncated.
I hope so.
Let me take Governor Sanwo-Olu made good his promise, which he made back on October 4th last year, where he announced there will be a salary increment to his staff. That's the civil servants in Lagos State. He had made that promise back on October 4th when he visited Alausa. He made good his promise when he approved the 20% increment for the civil servants, local government employees, personnel of the State Universal Basic Education Board, and other staff. And this was written by the head of service, Hakeem Muriokonola, who said the governor had approved the 20% increase for all staff. It was, according to him, he said that it is to show the administration's commitment to staff welfare. Public servants are therefore enjoined to show more commitment and dedication to delivery of qualitative service and citizens of the state.
Yeah, so
let's be visiting our friends in Alausa and they have more money.
20% is a lot of money.
A lot of money.
20%.
They'll be paying the January.
The private sector is like 5% or 10%.
Along with March, and they'll pay them the February arrears along with April salary. So they will have long time to move. I'm visiting my auntie today.
I hear that those in the state and local governments earn exactly the same thing. So
that's amazing.
And they added the people in Subeb as well.
Yes, Subeb also.
Okay, can I take another story? So Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM, yesterday announced resumption of registration for the 2023 direct entry examinations, known as the DE. And they also announced new guidelines for the registration. So the registrar, Professor Isaac Oloyede, made this known at a briefing yesterday in Abuja. And he's saying that the registration will close for April 28th. And, you know, one of the reasons they had to suspend the registration, which usually started in February, was because they wanted to deploy better measures to help prospective candidates. And I also found out a lot of people were getting into the direct entry with fake level, A-level certificates.
Right.
And they had, tried to fish out some of them, especially at this particular university, Bayero University, Kano. They've been trying as much as possible to expose some of these things happening. They said out of 148 candidates that they verified who were entering with the direct entry into the university, they found just 6 of them to be genuine, which means that 142, or which meant that 142 of them used fake results to get into the university. And so they are trying as much as possible to, put measures in place to fish those people out who will be coming in with fake certificates. Now, if you have to register, you have to put in your registration, your matriculation number from the previous school that you attended where you got your A-level certificate, and that will be verified before you get admission into the schools.
So I wanted to take the crisis in the banking sector. The banks have been complaining that they are not receiving the new notes from the CBN, and even the new notes, the old notes, are in limited supply. So they haven't been able to give their customers more than, if they give you 10,000 in the morning, in the afternoon, they don't have enough money, they will give you 5,000. So they're complaining about the inadequate cash supply from the CBN, and they are not even giving them new notes.
At all?
And even the new notes they receive are not even from the mint. So, well, everybody is complaining.
The sad thing is the way they are ruining businesses.
Yeah, because they're saying here, okay, you're going on a break.
When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on now to the Punch. APC wins 15 states, PDP 6, and NPP takes Kano. Lagos husband arraigned for wife's death. Sanwo-Olu raises civil servant salary by 20%. Musician friend killed Bureau de Change operators, guard arrested. Accept defeat, Delta governor-elect tells Omo Agege. EFCC grills 4 NCAA chiefs over alleged 2 billion naira fraud. Angas NNPCL hires expatriates to head subsidiary. I think Nima took that story. EU observers blame politicians, INEC for vote buying. Okay, who took the expatriate story?
Give us the
Elijah.
Took it. So, according to the NNPCL, they have appointed Mark Cordia as the head of the oil trading arm of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. And this, of course, has offended some of us Nigerians. They said that he comes with an experience. It was
30 years, I might add.
30 years experience. He was part owner of the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. He served as vice president of the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. He comes with a wealth of experience. And I joined the chief executive officer of Sage Consulting, Bodefa Dikpe, to say, are there no Nigerians with such experience already serving around the world? We had OPEC headed by a Nigerian. We had OPEC. Nigerians were heading OPEC. Nigerians were around the world, but we chose a foreigner to come and sit down there. And NNPC is defending it, saying that they are a limited liability company. But the shares of the NNPC are not public. They are still owned by the federal government. Yes. And we are the ones, we put the petroleum industry bill, push it for years and discussed it forever and said that, we will now have more local quota for employment, for appointment and employment, only to say that the only experience we can use is a foreigners. Welcome.
It's a
I just want to see the contract.
Okay.
Because now has pension, everything. We go out.
Because of course, they still do it for a Nigerian.
The SARS dollar will be used for.
They still do it for a Nigerian.
It was a Nigerian. Why we should?
Can we move on to the next
one? Can we exhaust all the plenty Nigerians?
The European Union has knocked the INEC for failing to live up to expectations in the electoral process. According to the chief observer of the EU, Mr. Barry Andrews, he said that the House of Assembly and Government elections in Nigerians was marred by violence, and Nigerians hungered for democracy, and that they were ready to be involved in the country's democracy, but appetite was lost due to the failures of the political elites and INEC. They also said, however, the positive fact was that INEC had introduced some corrective measures ahead of Saturday's polls, allowing timely delivery of the materials and also ensuring that the technology worked as compared to the case of the presidential. But even having said that, despite the tremendous improvements, polling election day was disrupted by multiple incidents of thuggery and intimidation of voters, polling officials, observers, and journalists. So there are two things here. So did INEC do what they're supposed to do? It seems, according to them, yes. But did INEC cause the intimidation, polling? Some of the INEC officials were complicit. Yes, many of them, there are some that are accused of being complicit and were working with the politicians. But they were particularly saying that the political elites are the cause of what happened, and INEC also was a part of that, where they caused the thuggery and vote buying that we saw that happened last weekend at the elections.
So, a 37-year-old Otodila Ikechukwu, a.k.a. IVD, I think we took the story when it broke initially, was on Monday arraigned before a Lagos State High Court sitting in Ikeja over the alleged manslaughter of his late wife, Abimbola, who died in a fire incident at their residence in Lekki area of the state. So the defendant was arraigned on one count of involuntary manslaughter, which was preferred against him by Lagos State government. The prosecuting counsel, Adeshola Bello, told the court that there was a mix-up in the date alleged offense was committed. It was written October 10, but it actually happened October 12, and that was, easily resolved in the court. And he went ahead to, plead for bail for him as well. The IVD is also still, insisting on pleading for not guilty against the charges, against him. And they've been trying as much as possible to work on the case. But however, it's still been adjourned till March 30, May 24th, 25th, 2023. So we'll see how that case goes.
Okay?
Yes, so a Lagos musician, Etare Dafe, a.k.a. also known as Top Boy, has been in hiding for allegedly killing two Bureau de Change people. Apparently, he invited them to his house, and then through him and his friend, they didn't tell us the name of the friend, invited them to his house and killed him and then put them in this is alleged, in the drain in front of the house. There's this guy, facility manager, Paul Omotosho, who said he had given him the house, he had gotten him the house through an agent when he said he wanted the place for his mom. But unknown to him, it wasn't his mom that stayed there. He said his mom had never been to Lagos, but it was him staying there. And now, of course, you got them the house has been called in for questioning.
So, by the time he was getting the house, the guy could not present any identification for the mother. So he had to find another person's identification to get him the house.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
All right.
So, anyway, he's missing in action.
You can't find him right now. Vanguard, Sheriff Fubara, Mwifuru, Zulum, Mufwang, others emerge governors. Tension in Enugu, Abia as INEC holds results collation. Police confirm killing of 2 officers by soldiers in Taraba. EU mission knocks INEC, says violence, vote buying marred polls. 78 million Nigerian children risk water-related crisis, says UNICEF. And banks borrowing from CBN down 14%. Okay, which story are we taking? Let me start with the United Nations Children's Trust Fund. Children's Fund, actually. They said that 78 million children in Nigeria are at risk, high risk actually, of inadequate water, sanitation, and hygiene-related diseases and climate hazard. This was said by the chief of, the Nigeria chief of WASH, that's Dr. Jane Vivan, noted that the world leaders are prepared to attend the historic UN Water Conference. They also said that these children are at high risk and something must be done quickly before it gets worse now. So WASH is the Water-Related Threats Inadequate organization, and they are really concerned about this UNICEF analysis that's putting 78 million potential children at risk. And Nigeria is just one of 10 countries who are going to be at risk of this global exposure if it happens.
Yeah.
So let me take the tension in Enugu and Abia as INEC suspends collation of results in those states. So Enugu, yes, INEC had to suspend collation of results in Enugu and Abia because, of course, they said thugs had attacked their office in Mobingwa local government area of Abia and Enugu as well. They are calling for, some of the politicians, parties across board are calling for review of the result. In Abia, Abga is disputing the result, PDP is disputing the result, but as it stands, Alex Oti of the Labour Party is leading the results with over 100,000 plus votes. I'm trying to get the exact figure. And the PDP is coming behind him with about 60-something, less than 60,000 votes, and I don't know what the dispute is about. But INEC has declared, suspended all this collation happening, and you have some political parties now complaining, especially in Enugu. The PDP is saying, why are you stopping the collation? Collation should have continued and just declare our candidate the winner. There's no dispute here. That's Umba, who is their candidate, the winner. That there's no dispute. They should have completed collation, especially because all the result has been transmitted to the collation center and they stopped.
Yeah,
so there are so many issues. I'm hoping that they are able to resolve before the...
Yeah, so this particular page I opened in Vanguard had a lot of stories, but I'll pick just one. So this happened in Port Harcourt. The mother of the former councillor in Port Harcourt City local government area of Rivers State, Mr. Endurance, was yesterday shot by suspected cultists. The woman has been hospitalized because she was shot yesterday morning at her home, Egede Street, Mile 2, Diobu, Port Harcourt City. According to the cultists, they claim that the ex-councillor refused to give them payments for election security money that he promised them. And they said they were contracted for that election. So they had come to his house, led by a young man called Zubi, to ask for money. The ex-councillor gave them stories that he didn't have money to give to them. And so they started throwing bottles, while they were still talking, into the compound. But when he kept saying that he didn't have any money for them anymore, they should go home, they brought out their guns and he escaped into the house. They kept firing, and one of the bullets hit the mother, who has been taken to the hospital. She's recuperating. The police has confirmed the story. They are after these cultists for investigation.
I wanted to take the police confirmed 2 officers killing by soldiers. This happened in Taraba State. The soldiers were... The whole state, town, Jalingo, the residents are very scared. They don't know the cause of the incident. The army just opened fire on the police. At checkpoints, they seized their rifles. The police command, Abdullahi Usman, says he too was caught in the crossfire. He was just lucky to escape. He said one of the policemen who didn't even know what was happening just reported to duty. And once they just identified him as a policeman, they shot him. And he said there were reports that they were escorting election material. And so they...
See, this synergy, we have to build it between the police and the army. It doesn't make sense now.
If military and police are fighting, All
right, that's all we can take on front page review. What's man go do? That's what you're looking for.
Abi?
Police and
Who we be? Who will be civilians?
Yeah.
That's all we can take on front page review. When we come back, move on to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So this morning we're discussing the, referencing what Waike said earlier, because of the division that has been in Nigeria, especially after the elections. Relationships have been destroyed, friendships broken, marriages dissolved. Somebody had threatened that to poison her husband. Some are saying that they will slap their wives. In fact, we have stories of loved ones saying that they have to leave their homes and marriages because both themselves and their husband have different political leanings. And also, we've even seen Nigerians in diaspora, some of them ripping up their passports, saying that they are done with the country. The elections that just passed has ripped us apart in different ways. What are your thoughts? What are your own experiences? What have you heard? Even friends who have been friends for so long are sharing all sorts on Twitter, damaging each other, labeling each other. Some are calling each other bastards, some are calling each other traitors, all sorts of things on social media because of election or politicians who are never permanent friends or permanent enemies.
At all.
Who tomorrow can be hanging out together, dining, discussing alliances and relationships. And here we are, dividing ourselves. I'd like to hear your thoughts and your experiences in the last few weeks, especially now that the elections are over. You can call us on the numbers on your screen, 081-270-53687. You can also call us on 091-390-76948. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag Your View TVC so we can read your tweet. It's your view, let it count. What are your thoughts on what's been happening? What are the experiences you've seen? What are the relationships you've heard? And how can we learn from this and move forward? I don't know who would like to go first.
I want to go first.
Mikey, please go ahead.
I want to go first. I want to go first because I want to talk from my own personal experience.
Yeah.
8 years ago, when everybody wanted to vote for Buhari, this. I was one of the few dissenting voices at the time. And my partner was, no, we need a change. I used to say, this road that you are taking. So, because of my own dissenting voice, and he was so pro, there was this tension between us. You know, the sleep that we'll sleep divided. You know, because me, I was so adamant, and it was even only him I could. Anywhere we go, I will be the only person. Everybody will be, Buhari is our savior. So I learned from that one that this time around, I could not get candidates inside all of them. My own candidates, they're not registered, and so I just they look. Say,
You didn't pass primary.
He didn't pass primary. So I just kept quiet. I would just be telling him, don't put your head. Politician is politician. Don't go there. Leave them. So I learned my lesson not to even engage.
Yeah.
Because it causes friction.
Totally.
No matter how, once the two of you have different political leanings, there's
a
going
problem.
to be a friction.
Especially even couples and friends. It happens in friends. And even, it's crazy. I don't know who else wants to share their own experiences,
Okay,
but...
I had a personal
Right,
experience in this particular election. So I have a good friend that were neighbors, and of course, for obvious reasons, they were for Peter Obi. And we're just having a conversation. And her husband had gotten very aggressive while we're conversing. I understood. And then I left. And then she didn't see me for a long time because I said, I will catch up on that, our talk. We're having a private girls' talk before her husband came in, probably provoked by something. And then I didn't show up in 3 weeks for us to continue that conversation. So she reached out to me that you were not offended by how he talked about. I said, no, I understand completely. I share the sentiments. If we were talking anything Southwest or you're talking about the APC, this is how I probably would have come in. So I think something had provoked him from outside. But she thought, I said, completely, that wasn't what happened. What happened was I got back home and then something new had happened. I couldn't continue. The next day I felt ill and I did not see her. But she was conscious of it. And so at this time, I'm most worried. I'm constantly calling her to ensure that she's safe and all of that. But we've seen how these things go, how we are sensitive about what we believe in. On our pages, because we are social media or OAPs, people are there asking where your leanings are.
Insulting.
Cursing for what you believe in. Trying to change your opinion by bullying. At my old age. I know maybe when I was...
Which old age?
No, when I was a teenager, my friends knew better to bully me to my own opinion. Talk less of now that I'm a matured adult. You bully me
And
to change my
nobody's
opinion.
feeding you. Add that one.
Come and bully. You go tired because you to change a person for a person to share to have a leaning is something they must understand and share certain sentiments and believe in. For some people, they don't even know. It is completely sentimental where their leanings are. For some people, it's based on certain personal experiences, certain beliefs, certain family affiliations. If you go to Edo State and Google my ancestry, you will know why I am so lenient towards a particular side. So leave me be.
Yeah.
Don't come on my page and come and teach me how to think.
Right.
So we don't know
Nima,
these things are not as...
Even if they want to teach you, there is a way that they
They're
can
not
teach
teaching
you, that there is a way they can approach you that you will even want to listen. Don't come and tell me you are an idiot. Eh? Anyway,
So even, but see, that
I don't even see
where I want us to go to, where I would like us to be, even if I call you an idiot, even if I say you're an idiot for not believing who I am, you as a person, if you really believe in Nigeria, you won't engage me because you are seeing beyond what I just said. You are seeing a man who is passionate, angry, and understandably allow him to vent. But I won't retaliate or engage you.
Yes, but
because you have a free, well, I'm almost done, I'll come to you. Because every human being has freedom of expression.
Of course.
And even in the Oyinbo country that we live in, if you abuse anybody, you are a foolish man, stupid man. If like Obama is passing in front of you, call him idiot. He won't say because you call him idiot to come and slap you. Because he respects that you have freedom of speech. So even if husband and wife don't agree, on that matter, you can debate constructively. But after that, you move on to who you are. So we must, as a people, begin to learn the importance of disagreement and dissenting views and respecting it regardless. I must not convince you. If I say you're stupid because you believe in this person, that's my own view. Doesn't mean that I said that you're a stupid person. You know you're not stupid. But I must not engage you. It makes my expression, and it's okay.
Okay, so for me, right, it's very important that we understand that politics is a game. And like every game, you must have the spirit of sportsmanship. You win today, you lose today, you must dust it off and move on to your life because there's life after politics. Some people have scattered relationships that will take them to their next level because of these elections. You have finished that one. You now want to start smiling after you have insulted the people, call them names for not believing in what you believe in, and then you start smiling and bringing your business for them to patronize you. And you think they should move on and forget it. Words are like eggs. When it breaks, you cannot mend it together. Raw egg, once you have dropped it, you cannot. There was somebody I blocked recently. It's been a while I blocked people because I do business. And so sometimes I sit down and listen to even insults just because I'm a business person, because I don't know where inside the insult you say you want to buy hair, right? So I listen. But this person came, that was after we came on the show, this person came to my page and my WhatsApp message and started insulting me. Look at you people, brown envelope journalists. You people are not seeing all the things that happen in social media. Insulted me. And now that he or she, I don't even know the person, disappointed in me. I'm like, brother or auntie, you did not appoint me in the first place to be disappointed. Oh, because I'm not saying what you want to hear. But I have a right to believe in what I believe in. And he insulted me. I just blocked, bam, and I moved on. But I was telling myself, how will I allow politics to scatter my home and scatter my relationship? So I know that there are some friends that are very emotional, and I didn't agree with where they stood.
Yes.
I avoided having that conversation with them. There were conversations I did not have with certain people. There were conversations I didn't have with Nima. There were conversations I didn't have with Miriam. I knew when to pause that conversation so that we don't get emotional. Because beyond the politics, these are my colleagues. These are my friends. We are going to meet elsewhere. Life continues afterwards. And this fact of tribalism is what is even hurting me the most. Okay, if we want to say, let us divide because we're tribal, someone like me, where do I go to? I'm a mix. Is it my father I will follow or my mother I will follow? They are from two different tribes. So we need to see beyond. And I hear people like, I can never deal with this tribe again. What did the tribe do to you?
It's the person you discuss.
Now, wait, I just want to say something that I want to buttress on what Obiajulu just said. Words are like eggs. So don't tell me I'm stupid because I believe in one political. Don't tell me I'm stupid.
They are immature now. They too don't know how to
If you want to address me politely.
Yes.
You can make your point without insulting me. By telling me, you old fool, tomorrow, you will still come and meet me.
Yeah, the old
fool. No. This old fool is not going to answer you.
Okay, I hear you. But you see, I'm in a group. And there was a lady that was particularly very toxic towards me. When I say toxic, things she said to me totally and completely. I never engaged her.
Now you know what?
I just allowed it to go and I let her express. She insulted me so many times. But do you know, after elections, she was the first time to post that she's selling a service. And that service she was selling, I needed this like crazy. I had a choice. Do I use her or find somebody else? You know what? I called her up. I'm going to use you for this service. And I paid her for that service. And she's providing that service for me, even though she was toxic to me. Now, the question is, the point is that, listen, don't call me a nice person. You see, I'm not,
I don't need that service.
Thank you. Listen.
I don't need that service.
Get the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that I was able to separate her opinion and the service. You as a person, this is how you feel about the fact that, oh, Morayo is this. That's who you are. But the service you're providing is different from what you are. So I can engage her.
No, it's not different. God not getting there are several people providing
It's not different. Can I help you?
We as a nation must get to this point. Because even the Americas of A that we go to, they are all different. White people are complaining about black people. Black people are complaining about Chinese. Everybody's complaining about it. So doesn't mean that we don't go to Chinese restaurant and eat their
Hold on.
or not go to Indian restaurant and eat
Can I
their
say
food.
something quickly?
Yes.
You have just enabled this person not to understand that she has a very
I don't need to be able to teach her.
No. You don't
She
want
will
to
learn
teach
it
her.
subconsciously.
No, she cannot learn it. Somebody has to teach her. Now that you have enabled it, if she meets someone like me, I will school her. Because after you have forgotten your business and insulted me personally, I didn't do anything. I just have my beliefs. And you came at my personality because of my beliefs. And then you bring your business tomorrow and expect me to patronize you. I'm only enabling you to go around talking to people anyhow.
Exactly.
You have to sit down and learn how to separate your emotions from your business. You have a business to run. You separate it and then you present your matter in a civil manner. We need to learn it. And I want you to call her out on that behavior, because the truth is, you may have pardoned her today because you're naturally a nice person. It will stop her from getting to where God is destined for her. Imagine her talking and being toxic to a CEO that she needs a job for tomorrow. I think everybody will be like, Morayo.
I have a call. Good morning. Are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I'm there.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Because of this. Good morning, Sister Yeni. You see, Morayo, it is unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that we Nigerians, especially we that we call ourselves youth, we are saying that we want to take the leadership role in this country. But when you look at what people are posting on social media, Morayo, we won't believe that Nigerian youth are saying all those things. And let me give you a typical example. I have a friend. Two of them believe in obedience this. And then I'm a certified, and then I don't have any apology being a certified. And then one of them has stopped coming to my office when campaign started. Even if I called him, you refused to pick my call. But unfortunately, that was the day it didn't need my head. And then he was not around because he was the campaign team of obedience. Are you getting it now? Yes, that very particular day, he needed my help so much because one of his friends is first killed. And then he know that I have something to do with that aspect. And then he calls home and then he sent his wife to me to come and collect something. Are you not telling me that I should not render that help? I don't know maybe you are listening. I don't know maybe you are hearing me, sir. So, basically, I'm saying.
Thank you, Yakub. I didn't really have him very well.
Yakub
but you see,
YK,
we need, yes.
Let me even use Yakub's example. So he has a friend who was obedient. He was batified. And the friend sort of blocked him off. Because the conversation just could not flow. But he now needed his help. He had to reach out to someone to reach out to him. He knew that it was an issue of help. So are we saying he shouldn't help? So he had to help his friend. That's a separate matter.
Yeah. Let me go on a break. I have to go on a break. Unfortunately, I have to go on a break. When I come back, we'll come back. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter and not trying to look all self-righteous in any way. But we must remember that for us to fix our nation, we need love. Love is the only thing that can pull all of us from every region together. And if we truly believe that it's love that's going to pull us together, if we have an opportunity to engage somebody, we won't engage them. So this person, I was willing to have that relationship because even though she might still hate me, as you said, if no matter what, no matter what I do, I give her my business or not, it doesn't matter. It will take time. Eventually she realized that I'm not my selection. I am not my choices. I am who I am, and I've made choices. And gradually we build that friendship, and that's how we build a nation. If we continue to engage each other,
excuse me.
Wait, let me finish. I'm almost done. If we
Quickly.
continually engage each other, we will not move forward.
Back to differ.
Go ahead, Waike.
I was going to stop you quickly before you go further. You see, if I disagree with you,
Yes.
on which I have done on many occasions,
Yes.
I will tell you what I disagree about.
Yeah.
If I disagree about your political choice, I will abuse your person,
Yes.
not you. I will not engage the people that don't know you. Don't engage me. Don't tell me I'm stupid. Don't tell me I'm an idiot. Don't tell me I'm an old fool. No. Don't tell me I'm local. No. Engage the topic. Once you have engaged the topic,
Make it about the issues, not the person.
Yes, that way, me and you, we can move on
From it.
and we can move past it. But once you have engaged me in insults,
I've
it
drawn
will
the
be
line.
difficult for us to move
me
on.
take this-
I haven't finished. Answer the call.
Boss said, thanks for calling your line. Waike is on the
Good
road.
morning.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes.
And all the ladies of the view.
Good morning.
I agree with you completely as far as you engaging that lady. In fact, this morning, I spoke with my brother-in-law about the same thing you said. And said, the fact that I disagree with somebody does not mean that when I need something to be done, and I know that that person is competent, I will not engage the person. The fact that I have the right to disagree with somebody about a particular issue, but if I see that there is something that the person can do, and I need that, I will engage the person. See, the truth is that we need to work on our emotional intelligence. If you are matured and if you are worked on your emotional intelligence, you will know that even if it's good to disagree. In fact, in management, they say conflict is good. When you conflict in a matter, it's good to have issues. But the ability to, even after you disagree about an issue, the ability to now, live behind that disagreement and still relate shows that you are developing your emotional intelligence.
Resilience, yeah.
So I agree with you completely on that aspect. And I think that we should look beyond whatever it is. I am satisfied. I am someone who can live, but I am someone who, because I have met him and I know him very well. And my husband will disagree. He does not even live in Nigeria. I live in Nigeria, in the US. We have to disagree. But I told him, I said, in fact, the point you asked me, who are you? I said, I'm opinionated.
Right.
You might,
Thank you very much, Abosede.
Yes,
Thank you for your view. Thank you very
Let
much.
me take this message from someone I respect deeply. Tope Fajigbesiba Logo wrote on her page. And he says, apart from MKO, my dad and I never supported the same candidate and the same party. As a matter of fact, in 2013 and 2014, he was a PDP official campaigning for the Jonathan government. And I was campaigning for APC and Buhari then. He didn't love me any less. Neither did I respect him or love him less. It was what it was, politics. So shame on you, Nigerians, baby Trumps, who have sacrificed your relationships, flawed characters and masquerades. Shame on you for refusing to hold up the mirror while you're complaining about hatred and chaos. Shame on you for whitewashing bad candidates and trying to gaslight everyone who does not follow you. Shame on you for thinking your way is the only way to heaven.
Yes.
Shame on you for placing curses on your land just because things didn't go your way. Shame on you for yelling about God on top of your lungs, yet forgetting that the power of God, forgetting the power of God. As for me, I know that regardless of whether my candidate won or lost at any level, I will succeed and Nigeria will be blessed.
Oh, yes. Please send that to me.
Simple
I
and
need to
short.
repost it.
Simple and short.
I mean, that is the message of the city.
I'm telling you.
And thank you.
Yeah,
Shame on you.
exactly.
Shame on you for abusing me. Even though nobody abused me. Oh.
But shame on you for engaging the person.
No.
So it's both ways.
No.
It's both ways. Shame on you for insulting and shame on you for also replying. You're both the same thing. Let me let this
The
come
ones
in.
I can't
Hold on.
I can let this come in.
Tearing past what I'm
So,
posting their lives.
there's a difference between having a disagreement and harboring a toxic person. One of the reasons why a lot of people have mental issues is because they don't know how to separate themselves from toxic people. A toxic person is the one who suspends logic and attacks your person because you have a disagreement. On this table here, there are issues that we talk about that we don't agree. And we go back and forth with Miriam, I'll go with Tope, I'll go with Nima. We don't agree. But we understand that we are discussing the issues and we take it aside from our personal relationship. So you have a right to determine the people you allow in your space and do business with. If you have somebody who cannot manage, because there's something I see with a lot of Nigerians. People will see you as less than they are, that their opinion is better than yours. And that's witchcraft. Your opinion is not better than my opinion. Your opinion is good for your reasoning. My opinion is good for my reasoning. But when you're trying to force me to speak your opinion because that's what you believe in, and then insult me or look down on me because you feel I am less, I don't reason as brilliant as you do because we share different opinions, that's wickedness, that's witchcraft, and you will not be in my space. Because the truth of the matter is, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a man feels from inside, that's what comes out within, on the outside. So if you can, because of this argument, go directly at some things and hit me and hit me and hit me, how am I sure that tomorrow, when the business fails, you will not come and hit me and hit me and hit me and even poison me? I will separate you from my space. It doesn't mean that if you are dying tomorrow, let's separate it, and I see that I need to help you, that I will not help you. Of course, my humanity will come in and I will help you. But we cannot do business together.
And I will come there and eat
And
chicken.
eat. I will not eat.
Nimba.
It's true. No,
Yes.
that's the honest truth.
It's a risk.
That's the
You
honest
go-
truth.
you
Come
go
to
at
a party,
me.
You can't send me an
You go
invite.
at me because of my
No, I won't
political
do that.
belief, and I give
Even
you
my religious belief.
Okay, let's talk
and I
about...
give you business. Because exactly, I'm not on the same religion or the same page with any of you.
Let me put-
on this table. Wait, I go at you, and then I come and give you my business. Then you come and give me fake.
You can spoil
Because you hate me.
Yeah, before.
Because you are-
And now my money I go take buy
Fake
rubbish.
intelligent,
I know. I'm
Because
almost
you're
that
intelligent
one.
We can't hear
emotionally.
anybody, wait.
Just wait. Let me put this thing that I said well. You can't be that aggressive over a mere public opinion issue and expect that things as personal as eating together will be normal.
Mbano, Odro normal.
I don't cite you, I don't grade you. I know that you can go extreme just to prove a point.
Just to prove a point.
I need to be careful when I sit with you.
Yeah. We
You
can
that
not
you can
spoon.
come on my page just over an opinion. You say we kill like what I throw, what
Okay, let me I'll take this call.
And
We-
see, I know you're
Mikey,
about.
You carry the thing.
Don't forget.
If I speak it in my language, it will take a while for you to get it.
Yeah.
So if you now carry something as simple as where I stand politically to my children, my husband, my
I start
family,
raining tankers
just to
to
try
bless
to
me.
but do you
But
want
you
to
know,
bully me?
interestingly, you know,
Aggression is so
when
far.
Christians, back in the day,
So far.
when Christians used to go out to preach, they used to get thrown out. You go to maybe a Muslim house, for example, you want to go and preach Jesus to them, and they throw something, like, get out, who the heck did you do this, you know, all sort of things back in the day. We take it. Because when you go back to church, they tell you that your
Lord.
bruises, that is, it's all for the Lord.
It's for the Lord.
We do it. We take out the bashing because we're trying to convert them to Christ. We see the bigger picture.
taking it
And when it comes to religion, we are able to see the bigger picture. I want to go and preach to somebody who is throwing hot food at me or throwing hot bottles at me. Tomorrow too, I'll go back there again because I trust that one day he will believe and he trusts. Why are we willing to come down that low for religion, but we can't do it for a nation?
Morayo.
We're not
Morayo.
patriotic.
We are doing it for
We
a
are
nation.
not.
No, it's for
Let me
human
take this
come
call.
down low.
I'll come back to you. Think about what I just
some
said.
people come down
Let me
low.
take this call.
Take call.
Let me take this call. I don't even know the caller again. Adenira from Ogun State. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
Pele, I
Good
didn't
morning,
know.
Morning, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Good morning to all the ladies.
Chai.
I really appreciate all this work and all this effort. You guys are really doing a good thing there. I just don't know how to express my feelings. Because every morning before I go to my work or to my office or whatever here and there, I just have to wait. Once there is power, I listen to you guys. Because I think that is the next thing in my life now. Listen to what is going on in my country and then to sensitize people. I commend you people for this. Good
Thank
job.
you, sir.
So, but this morning, our leader, I am sorry to say, I am not buying your opinion. I am a very straightforward person. I am a social scientist and I'm a pure scientist. So, I want to go with the discussion. I want to really agree with BC, Nema, and our mama in the house. The reason is, you see, my point has gone to them. I want to agree with them, but I'm not going to address that one further. Yours is what I'm coming to because I always buy your own idea every time. You see, that thing, I want to take us back to machine. This is something we call effort and load in machine. From where you picked the topic this morning, effort in machine, you can use a little effort to lift a greater load. Briefly, what that simply means is these political entities, political personnel, the people that are far from us,
But you see, their impact in our life goes a long way. Any little thing they do has a greater impact on us. The way we relate to ourselves when it comes to politics is something else. You see, people calling you all sorts of names. And if care is not taken, this thing you said you can harbor, you can keep in your mind. You show the good person you are. Don't be disappointed they cannot give it back to you. If they can do, they would have first addressed you in that way. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Aniram.
Thank you.
Let's talk about husband and wife for a minute. Because I know of a couple. The wife is from the southeast. The husband is from the southwest. And they're having serious friction. One is doing the Yoruba Nation or, the whatever, and the other person is totally obedient. Okay, one is batified and the other one is obedient. And there's serious friction. Now, the wife she's pained because of what her husband is saying. The man obviously is bullying her because in our own view, he obviously doesn't like the fact that she's obedient. So that is happening today. And the man is suppressed because he's the man in the house. He's shouting at her, bullying her, making her feel bad. And she's there expressing her views. And then now it's going to cause friction between her family, his family, loved ones, their children, the household. This is dividing houses. It's dividing marriages already. So we are talking just as friendship and everybody. Homes are being destroyed because of 2023 elections.
That is why I'm saying don't go personal. Talk to the candidates. Talk about the candidates. Don't talk about yourselves. Don't say because I don't believe in your candidate, you are this. Or
all these Yoruba people and all these, when you use that kind of phrase with your husband, all these Yoruba people, when you use those kind of all these Igbo people, you use that phrase in your home, of course to hurt, to cut deep. And anybody.
There is another thing.
Beings. Like, it's hard to separate that from the real issues.
Another thing that we are doing that I cannot stand. The winners are gloating.
Okay, that's normal in any competition.
It is not
now.
normal.
In any competition, people will always gloat. So you must
listen, Morayo.
It's immature to gloat.
It is immature. If your two children are fighting for something and then you take one side and then the one say, what is that?
Yeah.
You will slap the child. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Just be gracious in your win. So a lot of them who won are gloating, and I'm looking. Why? You are only causing more friction. You're only causing more divide, and we must mend. We must repair our what I hate about these elections, they have entered the fabric of our society. For it to be affecting husband and wife because one is Igbo, one is Yoruba, it has entered the fabric of our society.
Let me tell you that, some of us have always been wired like this. I remember when I was an undergrad, there was this guy asking me out. So I visited his home and I met his mom. She's from Lagos. She's late now. And one of our jokes would be, mommy. Kobo kobo, referring to my people. Then one day she said, "Oma Auchi lasso lasso."
What does that mean?
That's this ordinary Auchi girl. And they all laughed. Everybody laughed. And I just cut off the relationship, as in, I wrote off that person completely. I went and I had another nice Yoruba guy who was asking me out, was in the bank. And every day would be in my house. 4 years, this guy would be in my auntie's house trying to get. I blocked off that tribe. I said to myself, I used to have this thing against my own tribe that I would never did them. But for that thing, I want to know how bad, what exactly is there? Because the patriarchy in my home at the time when I was born just made me not want to marry someone from my place. But there was, how can somebody demean me so much and I will believe it in myself? And that led me to marrying someone from my place. Sometimes we go too far with this our good stock.
On both sides.
On both sides, we go too far. And the moment she said to me, it's packed off, I was like, which patriarchy am I even afraid of? I'm an Auchi girl. Which patriarchy will jam me that I cannot jam back?
Exactly.
So I don't understand.
We have to wrap up on this. But I think in a nutshell, what we're saying is that elections have come and gone. People have expressed their opinions. If we really want a democratic society, people must be allowed to express their views. And when they express their views, we must be able to respect it, move on. So I need to wrap up.
No,
I have to go.
I know.
We all want to, okay, you want to go?
I just wanted to say that while respecting, do not insult.
Yes. We all want a great Nigeria. I believe we all want a great Nigeria. If we want that, you must learn to be civil.
Yes.
Even when you disagree,
Exactly.
disagree in a nice way without having to attack the person's personality.
Exactly.
Not forgetting that after the elections, real life resumes. We are all facing the issues of electricity. We are all facing the issues of bad roads. We are all facing the issues of poor infrastructure and healthcare. We all want it to be better. So instead of thinking your opinion is more superior because you use in your head, this person will be a better leader. We don't know who will be a better leader or not.
Yeah,
We
no,
just
it's
have to
against the
trust
politicians.
We have
our
to run,
intuition and
and
go
don't
on that.
forget our children are watching
Yes.
and listening. Let's not mess it.
It's us against the politicians.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we talk, bring in our guest from Down syndrome. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Today is World Down Syndrome Day. It's a day set aside to raise public awareness and create a single global voice advocating for the rights, inclusion, and well-being of people with Down syndrome. Joining us on the show now is the National President of the Association for Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities of Nigeria, AIDDN, Joko Daudu Omosele. Welcome to the show, madam.
Thank you.
Good to have you on the show. So every year, Your View definitely always tries to bring in somebody to discuss and bring awareness on Down syndrome. Tell us what the year, as we commemorate today, what exactly is the theme for this year and why are we using that theme this time around?
The theme for the year, this year, 2023, is with us, not for us. And it means that we know we cannot live independently. I mean, people with Down syndrome, we can't live independently. We need your support. It is your support we need. We don't want you to act for us. Just give us, we want to be involved in everything, including policy and decision makings. Give us, break it down for us to our level, to the understanding that we can assimilate. Give it to us, give us several choices so that we can make decision from the several choices. We know on our own we cannot do it, but when we are well enlightened and the choices are there, numerous for us, then we pick and then make our decision.
Okay, so Down syndrome in Nigeria still carries a lot of stigma. For most people, they still fear how to relate with the children. Or that's a personal opinion. If it has changed, kindly tell us. And what exactly are you doing to change the narrative? And I mean, do you allow, do you put together conferences or events where people can sit, touch, feel a child with Down syndrome and see how loving they can be? Because those children can be so trusting and kind.
Yes, thank you. I will say that the stigmatization and discrimination is there, but we are making efforts to reduce, it's reducing. Because sometimes we go on roadshow, we work with our children, we go to the communities, we do workshops, we meet with the market people to sensitize them on the existence of people with Down syndrome. We meet with the obas, the chiefs, the communities, and we are making progress. And we too, as parents, we go out with our children because in the past, we didn't have that courage. I mean, majority of us, they have the courage to take our children out because of stigmatization and discrimination. Though it still exists, but we are trying to curb it. And where possible, we threaten people with the rights that our children have when you discriminate against them.
Okay, so let me ask the sort of help you give to even parents who have children with Down syndrome. Is there like a network where you have meetings with these parents to understand their challenges and, just support them?
Yes, our association is called the Association for Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities of Nigeria. We parents with children that have, and persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities, in which Down syndrome falls to be one of the disabilities, we meet regularly every month. Now it's reduced to quarterly. We in Lagos State, we are about 3 active members, 300. Yes, we meet regularly and we discuss on how to uplift our children, and then we do seminars, we train ourselves, we share ideas, and then we counsel ourselves.
Let's hear about your experience. I know you have a child living with Down syndrome. How has it been? When was it diagnosed? How old is the child, and how's your journey been like raising him?
First, I want to say that it is not living with, he has Down syndrome. He's not living with Down syndrome, he has Down syndrome. The same thing with disabilities. I have disabilities, not living with it.
Okay.
Because it is a lifelong disability. It cannot be cured. Well, when I had my child, the nurses that took delivery, they said, ha! But they could not explain themselves. So the doctor on duty at that time too said, he didn't say anything, just look at the child, and he went away. Then the one that came in the night, he is a specialist. Thank you. That one said, Madam, this child has Downs. What do you mean by Downs? I've never seen Downs. I don't understand. I said, don't worry. It's nothing to worry about because it is mild. And as he grows older, he wears it off. So I had that confidence that it wasn't nothing to worry about. But after some time, the milestone that you expect the child to reach, he did not. When it was time for him to sit down, he was not sitting. When it was time for him to crawl, he couldn't crawl. And then my husband was like, this child, my last child. My husband was skeptical, but said, there's nothing we can do. I have to keep this child. I have other children. Nothing has happened to them. This only one, I have to keep it. So,
I know that children with Down syndrome, they come with some special talents. Has your association found out how to discover the talents of these children? Because some of them draw fantastically well, some are great musicians. Can you maybe elaborate or say if you're able to discover their talents?
Yes, the people with Down syndrome, as they grow older, they improve. And that is if you expose them. If you keep them at home, you are killing the talents in them. And whatever they choose as their career or talent, you cannot beat them to it. If a child with Down syndrome is good in laying beds, it could take him 2 hours to lay that single bed. But you cannot find any fault, and you cannot do it the way he does it.
I want us to help a lot of parents, because a lot of parents are watching. Aside from just raising awareness about Down syndrome, it's important for us to also show that it is possible. So I want you to walk us through daily routine, how you've been managing. Do you have family support? Do you have friends? How was it challenging in the beginning? Were you left alone to care for this child? Were you able to convince your friends to support? How can somebody who's watching, whose child has recently been diagnosed with Down syndrome, what encouraging words can you give them? What do they need to do to start this journey of helping this person to live normal lives?
Yeah, the first support you need is from your family. It's from the family. Once the family is supportive, friends will join, because when they come to you, they see the way you relate. They see the way they relate with the child. They too, they will want to. You take them to church the same way. You take them to mosque the same way. Take them to the marketplace, the school. And Down syndrome, they are so special in the disability community in that they are very sociable. They are very lovable. If they are here, they will start clinging to you. And I don't think there is problem, except where, there are two major, the two major difficulties that they cannot perform the functions well. That is the intelligence and adaptive behavior. The adaptive, you will need to...
The traditional intelligence, you mean?
Yes.
They have their own intelligence.
They have their own, the traditional, their IQ, the average IQ is 50. And it ranges between 30 and 70. You see, for the adaptive behavior, that is the one I want to lay emphasis on. Because we need, from start, we need early intervention, which is not available in Nigeria. Like I told you, the doctor told me, in abroad, they would have told you, you need to go to this, go to speech therapist, go to physiotherapist. No, they don't need speech therapist, occupational therapist, and the other...
Physical therapist?
Physiotherapist. the three of them, because they need to work on the muscle. Yes. So they will not tell you that. And for you to shape them in the behavior, you need that occupational, the skill that an occupational therapy will use on the child. You don't have it. But like the patience, if you are not patient, you will learn to be patient. Because you cannot do anything with them. Because the way they process, when you send information to them, it takes that time before it processes in their brain.
Right.
And it takes time before it comes out, the response.
So
Yes.
let's talk about inclusiveness in society. And I don't believe any human being is perfect. We're learning about ADHD, different, all sorts of things about adults now that, we'll say this is a perfect child and mentally the child has some other forms of deficiencies. So, but how inclusive is society when it comes to children with Down syndrome? I mean, can they be allowed to sit in class? I had an interview with a cerebral palsy child survivor once, and they used to kick the kids out of class and say that we can't cater for this kind of kids in our school. And you see schools pushing that. So how is it when it comes to education?
They allow them in the schools in education, but they are not gaining from it. Because the pace at which other children are assimilating, they don't have it. They are slow learners. You have to repeatedly say something for them to process. So if you we are talking of inclusion. Well, yes, inclusion. I mean, it can be in the social the aspect. In the education, if you put a child that has a visual impairment or albinism, with a child with Down syndrome.
You're calling more than...
Yes, when you put the three of them together in a class, obviously the other two excel. Because she or he with Down syndrome cannot move on the same pace with them.
So I think there's something they do, because this is what I'm writing my projects on, my master's. When it comes to inclusion, like Nima raised rightly, especially in the schools, they also devise special teachers. So they are there in the general class so that they are used to being with the society when they finish school. So, but they will have special teachers. There are lessons that they will take them for their speech therapy, some extra things that just helps them. So even after the concepts are taught in class, there's a special teacher that will now break it down and be patient. But I don't know if the public schools, maybe Morayo can help out in this, have those special teachers. But the private school where I worked, they will be in the general class, but there's a time where they just go out for a few hours and do just to help them, meet up to the level of the other children. And I don't know and I know some of these services are quite expensive, getting the therapist for, the speech and all those things. How are you people supporting parents to get there somehow with your association?
Thank you for that. It's good. You are talking of private school. My child once went to Supreme School, and exactly what you have said is what was practiced. He was in the same class with others, that is in the spirit of inclusion. And then when it is time for him, they take him out, and then they teach him his own. You see, that one is obtainable in the private school, and how many people can access that? But in the public school, I have just given an example, and that is the way it is in the public school. They mix all disabilities together, and then you will see that at the end of the day, our children with intellectual and developmental disabilities don't gain anything because they are slow learners, the processing is slow, and then the technology-assisted devices they need that they will use, they are not available there. And we cannot even afford, because in my association, we have so many indigent parents, as mostly women that have been abandoned by their husbands because of this child with disability.
You were talking about developing their talents, about your association. Have you been able to?
Yes, on talent.
Yes, the only thing we can say in respect of that is to continue to advocate to the public and government to do something for them, because it is done within the reach of members. For you to get a therapist, whether speech or occupational or physio now, for you to get a therapist, maybe for one visit is 5,000. So, and you will need about 3 in a week. And then in a month, you know how much it amounts to.
In a month, yeah.
And we are talking of indigent people.
Is there a social fund? I don't know whether it's you I should ask for, for this kind of things. Because we had, in my family friend's house, a cerebral palsy child. He's late now. And weekly therapy was over 20,000. We were trying to help him with physio and trying to help him get speech. He could only pronounce one name till he passed. But it was so costly when we think about it, and I weighed a lot. I kept wondering if there was a social fund you can apply to, something that, is sponsored by government. Is there such a fund?
We don't have such. We're just an association that encourage women, that encourage parents. And then we feel that when we have the number, we'll be able to put that pressure on government to do this and this and this.
I have to wrap up with you, but my producers just told me now that you came here today with your son. So my question is that, do you go around with him? I mean, is that something you have to do, or do you have... Because people need to know the reality that you're used to going everywhere with him. Is that how it's going to be if you have to have this a child in this condition?
Oh, yes. I think I enjoy moving him around. And then it helps him. He feels more happier. Yes, he feels more happier. And he behaves well. Yeah. I can see the difference as at the time.
So just leaving him in the house?
No. I've never left him in the house. I could leave him with my nanny or wherever to go to the shop or wherever, and then I go. But start going out, seminars, workshops, he will sit. And in the past, I couldn't imagine my child sitting alone for hours without disturbance. He will sit down there. 4 days ago, we were held up at Beggar. We spent 5 hours in the go-slow, and my child did not disturb me. He was in the car with me for 5 hours.
How old is he now?
He's 25 years.
Normal children will disturb you. You will buy something, tire. Yeah, I cannot.
But well done. We have to wrap up with you. But well done. I mean, 25 years helping and supporting your son is never easy, but it's always good to see women like you triumph and do so well, so that other mothers can also take a cue from you. And I'm glad that your organization also... There's so many organizations in Lagos that I know. Many have come on the show several times to show the work they're doing with Down syndrome, but it's always good to see and celebrate, to commemorate. The theme this year, as you said again, is
with us.
Work with us, not for us. So
you don't represent
work with us, yes.
But help support us. Yeah. Put it on the table for us.
Yes, and I would like you to speak to the government. Yeah. Use this opportunity to speak to the government about helping...
What they can do to help
your kind of associations.
Yes, I'm glad that you brought that up. We've been working with LASUDA. We are one of the clusters that is recognized by Lagos State. And LASUDA in its own can say they're working. But as far as our children and persons with intellectual disabilities are concerned, they have not gotten their fair share from LASUDA. Because when you bring all of us together to do seminars and workshops, you are doing for others that have this disability. Our children, if we take them along, they don't even understand what you're talking about. There are several ways. You need to assist them so that they can attend such and understand what they're saying. If you don't assist to support them, to make them, to push them up, to understand what is obtainable around them, how do you want them to be involved in decision making?
Thank you very much for that comment.
That is the problem.
Let me even add
Please let me add something. What we want from the government, Lagos State government, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, congratulations for coming back. But please, we are begging you, we need a vocational hub for children with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
That's a good one.
We have majority of them that have left primary school that are at home doing nothing.
And
we cannot take them to people to learn skills because they don't have the patience.
Yes.
We need skilled teachers that will educate these children.
Let me add to that, because the reason why I wanted to add to that, because a lot of Nigerians, especially those who are well-meaning and those even in the diaspora, that they want to help with education, they just come with all sorts of ideas. Let's do this skills acquisition in schools. They have all the ideas. And one thing the commissioner who I work with says, all these ideas we know, but there's a problem. Vocational, special needs. Nobody wants to focus on those areas. So ask government, where do you need help? And that's what you say, this is where they need help. So those of you in the diaspora, that want to support
help.
in education.
But I'm not telling
The
you
easiest
passport.
one, the smallest hanging fruit is come to the schools and be teaching them how to do all this bead making and
makeup.
all these nice things and all this English, speaking French and all that. So that's a nice. But the real problem are the special needs children. So if you have expertise in that, what she's saying is that come bring your ideas to government, let government support you so that you can support people like this.
Yeah. Amazing.
I think thank you very much, Ma, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, that's all we can take. When we come back, move on to another segment, which is the Oral Health Day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. It's Health Tuesday, so we're still discussing health. And yesterday was World Oral Health Day. It is always celebrated to give people knowledge about ways to have and maintain proper oral health. Joining us on the show now is an astute dentist with more than 11 years of experience in private dental care and the healthcare industry. Welcome with us, Dr. Fumi Adeniyi.
Thank you
Good
very
to
much.
have you.
Thank you.
My kids here, they go to the dentist, they run. They don't want to go to the dentist because they're always having to open their mouth and look through their teeth. So yesterday was World Oral Health Day. What exactly was the theme yesterday, and what are you trying to achieve with this commemoration?
Okay, so yesterday the theme for the past few years have been be proud of your mouth. So yesterday was looking after your mouth for a lifetime of healthy smiles. So looking after your oral health for a lifetime of healthy smiles, and that's what we're about.
Let me tell you something, like one problem I have with this oral thing. Anytime I'm trying to brush my teeth, I always remember you people say we should do 2 minutes. I'm always trying to tell myself, I say I can't do 2 minutes. Rolling.
You can sing Happy Birthday, that whole song. If you go over it once,
I keep trying to do, and I'm done in like in a minute and a half.
A few seconds, so we are done.
So I keep moving 2 minutes, 2 minutes. How you brush your teeth for 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Do you, does,
All
does,
2 minutes.
Does that law still exist, or that?
Yes, it does. Because if you go from every quadrant, you have 4 quadrants. You divide your mouth into 4. So you go front, back, that's 8 times. And then you do your tongue. You can go over it.
This thing of it is very uncomfortable. You have to admit.
Yeah.
Taking your brush and doing this. How can you be brushing like that? You can just do
It's not reality.
It's not reality.
No, it is reality.
How is that possible? Not like this.
Just gently, like
Hold the tail like this and move on. We need to
It's
go.
the one that we find difficult now because we are old, much older,
for
and we
yourself,
didn't learn that. We didn't learn that
early,
growing up.
yes.
For yourself.
You know, and even Morayo, who thinks
Mike,
she's
you're the
young,
only
she doesn't realize she's no more a youth. She's 42. She's no more a youth. She's going to be
Wow.
43. She's entering our league.
Please, take that back.
Let me.
I'm very far from your league.
You know, when they are 50, they still call themselves youth.
Yeah.
She's going there 7 years time. I just wanted to say that you are not supposed to spit out the toothpaste.
Ew.
Yes.
Disgusting.
But we didn't learn that. We are supposed to keep it.
They wash
They wash the mouth with the gallon.
Absolutely.
Are we supposed to swallow the
They
toothpaste?
said we should imagine.
Leave it.
Not swallow, you
ask
spit
that
it out, but not
spit it
rinse
out
your
and
mouth.
not rinse,
Ew,
so
I
that
think
it
that's
acts
disgusting.
in your mouth for a while
Why?
to increase the
So
amount
why-
of fluoride that
So
binds
when
to
do I
it.
rinse it before I eat?
You don't need to.
Ew, that's disgusting. Come on.
You see
This
what
Oyibo
I'm saying?
keep
You
changing
see what I'm
rules.
saying? That we didn't learn this.
Solution there for that.
And listen,
My daughter, she doesn't like her kids. We are not allowed to
With all
use their
due
mouth.
respect,
We
why
can get it, and they are okay.
with all due respect, my mother-in-law, my grandmother-in-law, she's 90. She was 97 in December. She's going to be 98. She never did that, and she's 98 years old. It doesn't make you live
But
longer.
she
also.
didn't eat as much refined carbohydrates as we do. She wasn't exposed to as much sugar as we
don't
are.
lie.
She had generally healthier lifestyle than we
took
eat.
So see the
that's
solution that me I
a
have. So since the doctor, my own dentist, after the 6 months appointment, I felt I won't do this year's own. When I brush, I will rinse my mouth
Of course, absolutely.
very, very well.
Yes.
I will put another toothpaste and brush and leave
That's
it over.
good. That's good.
Oh, you
Because
put
I
that
grew
toothpaste
up
and leave it.
rinsing
Yeah,
my
that's
mouth.
good.
We'll wash all the corners. I will
good.
rinse. If I feel anything left, I can't deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an idea. I never thought about that.
And somebody gave me that advice recently. But I
yeah.
just felt what does this one mean? But she said I can do it at night before I sleep.
Exactly.
And just leave that one. So I've been doing it at night, not in the morning. I have to rinse my mouth
I do
with
morning
water.
and night, and I still rinse my
However,
mouth. I can't help it.
Yeah.
As long as you're getting the jet out, you're still safe.
Yeah, so I heard, I read in the papers this morning that the Dental Association have been talking about tooth decay
Yes.
for a lot of children.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you, have you seen a number of children with tooth decay, and what do you think parents can do to help their kids?
Fantastic.
Okay, so there's a system that encourages tooth decay. So you've eaten a lot of sugar, sweets, even our regular rice bread breaks down to become glucose on your teeth, and then it stays on the tooth for a long period of time without brushing, say at night, and then it's hiding in crevices over a period of time, and then it becomes a hole, what we call dental caries. So things you can do is break that cycle by brushing regularly. That's why we say brush twice a day. Rinse out, let them take water. Avoid giving babies bottles so that they're not exposed constantly to sugar, because a lot of these formulas have sugar. If you can breastfeed your child for much longer, please do. It increases the amount of immunity they have to these things. Yeah.
In my own day, the sweet that you will not even know if you're too young, that kills Nigerian children's teeth was goody goody.
Yes, I know
No,
goody
everybody
goody.
knows
I know.
It's we that ate it now.
But
Yes.
with all due
Yes, goody,
respect,
goody.
doctor, with all
Yes.
due respect, you see, me, I still disagree that Momo is different from us. Let me tell you why. When Momo was younger, Momo is 98 years, when she was younger, in the other countries, they were eating chocolate. It's chocolate that didn't enter Nigeria, and
Yeah.
chocolate and those, we are still doing our goody goody there.
Yeah.
In their own country, they've been eating chocolate since the 60s or 50s, whatever it is. So, and they have old people that live to 100 years, or even sometimes over. So it's not about Momo not eating
But have
chocolate.
you checked her mouth to be sure she doesn't have holes? Because a lot of people endure.
But she's
dental
98.
pain.
She's living. She's okay.
Think I'm
You remove
enduring it.
Yes, a lot
The
of
last
people
SMP I
endure.
had.
If meat enter your
dental
teeth, you
pain.
remove it now. And you'll be
They will
okay.
use
Can you
both, sef.
endure
See,
dental pain?
Some people do. Some people
I
just
think I'm
keep
enduring it.
medicating with amoxil and some antibiotics
That
and
pain.
painkillers. Some people
No,
keep
I think
enduring.
the last
The
SMP
cultists.
I had, I think something went wrong. Because I still have this pain on the side of my mouth, as if something is broken and is falling in. But
Check it out now.
Okay, so let us remind.
check it.
So, doctor, let
They
us
say
remind
nothing was
us
there, but I had
of all the rules of. Okay, so that so our viewers can get something from this, not just lamentation. Let us remind us, how do we take care for our teeth? The various rules and the new rules that the Oyimbos have told you guys, because you guys every day they are constantly researching new things.
And changing
it.
expand
Today
down.
they'll say, don't put cotton wool in your
Tomorrow
ears.
say
Tomorrow they say, leave it. All sorts of things. Somebody just wakes up and comes up with new research. So tell us the new researches about mouthwashing and how do we take care of our dental care.
Okay, so you should be brushing twice a day. In Nigeria here, your toothpaste should have fluoride, because nobody fluoridates our water. Nobody is adding extra fluoride to help prevent dental caries. If you insist that, oh no, I don't want to use fluoride, your toothpaste should have hydroxyapatite, which is very uncommon in these climes presently. You should be rinsing out after you've had a meal. Just try to make sure that there's no food residue. You should be flossing daily. So a dental floss in between your teeth to get rid of food particles and all that are stuck there. And then you should, if you insist on using a mouthwash, your mouthwash should have fluoride and should not contain alcohol, because alcohol just worsens the condition. It dries out your mouth. It just makes things worse.
all of
You
them
say that
have
again, there's some alcohol, there's some
alcohol.
lovers of alcohol.
If you say drinking alcohol, they say your mouthwash. They should not have
Are you
After
buying
drinking
alcohol?
alcohol, you
Alcohol
drink
that
your
the
mouth.
It's affecting her brain. I wanted to ask you, because there are people I know who, when they have toothache, they will say, no, it's because of one infection. That's the cause of
They
the
have something
toothache.
they say, "Oh, remove up
So
there."
they will now take antibiotics. Say once the infection has gone, the toothache will go. Can you advise us on this?
Don't self-medicate. Visit a dentist every 6 months. That's one of the important.
I think it's a year.
yes,
A year is
for-
better.
for- no, every 6 months. It's not a year. A year is not better.
Yeah, it's better.
Yes, you know how much it is to go and my
every
children
6
one time
months.
80,000 naira.
Yeah,
What I carry
once
for
a year,
children
just-
for 80 grand. And you're like,
You should not stress
If you do health insurance, you won't have to pay that. You just pay a one-time fee, and then you're covered for the year.
okay, let me
What
ask.
about this? So a lot of, we like to jump on trends. And I posted a picture which one day smiling with my natural God-given colored teeth. which for my skin is popping white.
Oh,
and
yes,
you know,
it is.
try,
Yes,
and
it
it's
is.
beautiful.
Yes, it
Somebody came on my page and said I should go and do teeth whitening.
It's a new fad, and it's done by everyone. But many times when people come
What
to
are the
visit
health
me
benefits?
in the clinic, well, it brightens your teeth. It makes you feel more confident. You're smiling better, so it affects your health.
Disadvantages?
Not everyone should get tooth whitening, because if you have sensitivity, if you have holes, you should be prioritizing filling those holes. If you have gum disease, you should not be exposing your gums to the chemicals that we use to whiten teeth.
But there are no adverse effects of the whitening in the long run.
None that has been documented yet, because they're safe.
I'll
they're
think about
safe
it.
percentages.
But my teeth
and
is
a
fine.
dentist should be doing it for you, because
not
there are a lot of other people providing those
Let
services.
me make a confession. Something that they've always abused me for. And I want you to tell me if it is good or not. I'm sure you say it's bad anyway. That toothpick that has floss, I can use 1 3 times or 4 times. After I finish using it, I keep it in my bag, because I'm a Nigerian. I don't throw things away anyhow.
Jesus.
After
No,
I
you're not
floss
Nigerian.
it,
You're an
I clean
American
it in
for
my
that.
mouth, and I put it in my bag because I might need it in the evening. I use it again in the evening. And if
It's the American
I put it back in my bag.
It's American habit.
Tomorrow morning, I just might eat something I need again. So that floss, and that one I can use it for 2 or 3 days in my bag.
It should be used.
Ew.
It's Lagos people's behavior.
Once so you can just buy the pack. Usually they have.
I buy the bag, but I
And they're cheap
Just
now.
one reuse.
I have like 5 packs in my house. One in the kitchen, one in my bedroom, one everywhere. But I will keep reusing. I can use it for 5 years. I will reuse it and reuse it.
It defeats the purpose, because most of the time those food particles are still stuck there, no matter
But
how
I clean
much
it
you
with my
think.
mouth.
Doctor, you know floss should not be handled by kids by themselves.
I'm
kids
sad
go
that
there, they
YouTube
pick
is
the
not
floss.
working.
So my son, because he knows I won't allow him, go and keep it in.
How old is he?
He's 6. He will reuse it over and over. And when I caught him, I was like, they don't reuse floss. The boy was looking at me. Then he says, the doctor says we should wash twice daily. So when he brushes his teeth, he goes back, looks at the mirror, then brushes it again, twice in the morning. That's twice daily. He commented.
I told the ladies that gave you guys the gist to go that the friend I just got married. I used to when my son and my husband were together. He had issues with kissing. I just never knew for years. The guy would be, he just do kiss, small kiss. I'm like, this guy doesn't kiss. I was complaining, like, this guy doesn't kiss. It was many years after. I said, Auntie, please brush it at night. I used to only brush in the morning. I used to do morning brush. I didn't care. But when he now started, it's because I will be seeing him brushing at night every night. And I don't like the mint taste. When it comes to my, I'm like, what is minty thing? I beg, Auntie.
I like the food taste, actually. I like to retain that food
human being taste.
Yeah.
You're not going to brush your teeth for night. So I didn't like kissing. He didn't like kissing. I didn't like kissing. But it was not later we had to have a conversation. You're brushing at night now. So you like the mint. Because I had to start brushing at night, honestly.
Are you kissing now? Because that's it.
That night brushing, I think, is very important.
Very
because
important.
when you sleep with the food residue in your mouth,
And it's
causes
more difficult
tooth
to
decay. So I learned that very early on. You know,
Mama never brushed at night.
Obviously.
She's 98 years old.
But the
See,
taste
there's
of
another
food is
solution.
good.
Somebody agrees with me. I was going to just say, I think you've been here before.
Yes, I was
I mentioned chewing at night.
Yes.
So I use my chewing stick every night. I don't
That's
brush
good
my.
too.
I have my chewing stick. There's a
How
apamo
does chewing stick help?
that goes in my
I don't
the question I
understand
wanted to ask.
the rationale of chewing stick.
It
I
has
don't get
herbs.
it.
That's what our
How
parents
people
do.
clean it before
There's
brush cover.
some chewing sticks with medicinal properties.
The mint one.
But the truth is, how do we find them? How many trees are growing? How do we find them? But if you can, I know that one of my professors did a research on something that's called Odiari or Oriata or something like that, and that one was
There's a
very
different one,
beneficial.
yeah,
that peppery
for-
one.
Yes, that has the pepper.
There's also the minty
That
one.
is, oh really?
The abuki, they carry it.
Oh,
They
wow.
carry it. At Alaba, you just point
So we
them
need
like
to
this.
fund more research on this. On this
Our
I
parents
use it
survived
now.
with those things before.
because Chinese people they've embalmed their own technology, but we haven't. So that's
We don't have
That's
that.
true. Mama uses chewing stick.
The Arabs call it miswak.
Yeah.
They sell it in
That she
very
must be
nice
using that
packs.
peppery one.
Go to Dubai, go to Hajj. They sell it in nice packs and we use it.
Yeah.
My dad would always be on chewing stick throughout the day before every salat, before he goes to the house, he's by his side. So I grew up with chewing stick. I just carry a bunch and I chew at night.
So what are you
So
going
send
to
some
do
to me,
about
let me be chewing.
making chewing stick more acceptable?
now.
we
and-
need a lot of
Research.
funding
Now
for
go down.
research. We need a lot of
Research.
funding for research because my mom does research, and I know how even when they find a breakthrough, to now take it mainstream, you need a lot of funding to
Sorry, your
endorse
mom
it.
does
and-
research?
Oh, she's a pharmacist, yes, so she does a
Like
lot
you
of
have
research. in
books.
this.
If,
Oh yes, I wrote a book on oral health for children because in my practice I've realized that if we teach them these things early, we can avoid a
Wear glasses.
lifetime of pain and discomfort with dentistry.
I need to
and
read
so-
it. Nobody ever
I
told
need
me
to
to.
read
I
it.
came with just one.
I was
I have
never.
3 copies there.
I
So.
mean, maybe I was
You are
stupid. I
four.
forgot. I can't remember any of this.
I need one for my
No,
grandchildren. They are
and I was
around,
going to
though.
say that his grandchildren.
I can send more. I
Ah, they are
can
with
send
me now.
more.
They are here now.
Okay.
that's
They're in
that's
town.
Okay.
You don't need
So
it again
it
personally.
has
That was what
pictures,
was.
activities, just
Oh,
things to make it
It's, fun.
engaging.
I
And
love you.
we
My
cover
babies will
most
love
of
this.
the
We have to run, but thank you
things
so much. I
involved.
mean, I
I'll help you
think we
tweet it.
need. Thank you for teaching me. I mean, I think it was from you even that it's mentioned this.
Yeah.
I started watching by many
Yeah.
years, but listen, the teeth is important.
Very
Let's check
important.
twice a year.
Yes.
I did go see a doctor with my kids, and when they sent me a reminder, I said, "Auntie, I will do."
That
one
was
year
my
because-"
clinic.
Was it your clinic? Okay, was it? I got a reminder. I got a reminder. It was after you came on the show that I went to your clinic with the kids. Yes, it was you. They now send me a reminder 6 months. I said, "Please, I beg you."
That's what they
We'll
do.
meet you in a year. I cannot be carrying 4
months.
children.
I think
And all
I've
of us.
done it. That's why I said a year. Because I do SRP every time. And I thought, the one I did now, the healing have not come, finish.
So
And
maybe,
go again.
maybe you need to get a second eye to check if there's something, if
Different
there's
hospital.
gum disease
Yeah.
or something happening.
I would
there,
like to
yes.
come.
Take
And
you, Dr. Ane, you
it's
have
a
to-
crime to have mouth odor.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
and one
Should be
in 40
punishable
people
by
have
law.
Sign garlic.
Yeah.
One in
Not
40
Wait.
people.
I beg, I need.
Ma,
What
put
do
you
you
out
think
there.
the punishment should be?
We have to figure it out.
So people that eat garlic
My
like
best
her,
friend, I
how
love
can she
garlic.
stop this thing?
My best friend wanted to tell me that I had mouth odor when I was 18. She was 20. And so she just bought me a birthday gift. I found it ridiculous that she showed up at my house with one toothbrush. No one. I said, happy birthday. We did not talk for 6 months. And you're loud.
All right. So that's yeah, go ahead. Let me
You
know.
can, you can get these capsules that have taken out the smell of the garlic. So that's one
No,
thing.
I have fresh
She
garlic.
enjoys the smell of the garlic. It's me that used to smell
I
it.
did
I
all
sit
that.
close to her.
Hey, I've never smelt it on her.
Oh, you don't go close to her.
Okay.
You
Because
people don't.
it
I
actually
still
oozes
garlic
out
this
of
morning.
your
I
You
was-
will
pores.
ooze
Yeah,
in
it
there.
does.
I took garlic this morning. You didn't smell it, did you?
You didn't smell it this morning.
You
but
didn't stay close to her.
Can you smell it on her? She's
No, I
beside
can't.
me. I can't smell
I
anything.
can't now.
I did the powdered one this morning.
Oh,
Okay, that is all we can take. Thank you,
All
Dr.
right.
Dinyori,
Thank
for
you
coming
very
on the
much.
show. We'll definitely come back to
All
your
right.
clinic. I've seen your reminder. We'll come. It's not easy. This Buhari's government is not easy. All right, that is all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.